Since the heat gun was so successful at changing the peg bracket on the MX3, I decided today I'm gonna try and put the peg lowering brackets on the MX4. So I did strip these bolts out right here because I didn't know that heat would work so good on the Loctite. So not sure if I'm gonna be able to get them out, but I'm gonna heat the heck out of them and try to get them out. So the Allen bolts are slightly stripped. One of them's really stripped and one of them's not that bad. Probably can't tell in the video, but worst case, I have a set of screw extractors. So let's heat these things up really hot and get these lowering brackets in. All right, so the heat gun did work, but I need to tell you, it was 10 times harder than the MX3 bolts. It was still tough. I had to use this breaker bar on the Allen wrench, and the Allen wrench is still a little bent. Insane how tough this Loctite is. And I heated them like extra, like 5 minutes each bolt. Like it was sizzling, man. I can't even touch them. I'm surprised they're not melting through this foam, to be honest with you. But we got this side out, which was the problem side. Now we have to go do the other side, which is untouched. The bolts are brand new, shouldn't have an issue. So this should be a success. We'll get the peg drop brackets in and it'll make the bike a little more comfortable for me because I'm 6'3" and my riding position was a little crouched. This should be awesome. But yeah, I'm thinking that the MX3 had like less Loctite, and then they complained that the bolts were coming loose, and then on the MX4 model they put way more Loctite on the bike because this was way tougher than the MX3. So I made a big mistake. The side that I got off was the side that I did not strip. So the right side is the one that's stripped. You can clearly see that the bolts are rounded out. So I hammered this Allen wrench into this thing, had to take off the foot peg so I could spin the Allen wrench around without getting it out because the thing is so stripped. It's in it at like an angle. I don't even know how I got this thing out. I heated the heck out of it, probably 5 minutes. It was so hot I couldn't even touch the peg when I took the peg off. So I got one of these bolts off, but I think this one is gonna be even more challenging. It's completely stripped. I can't believe I got this thing off. We have one left, guys. I got so lucky, man. I don't know how I got this thing out. Again, over 5 minutes of heat. It is so hot you can feel the heat off of it. You cannot touch this. I had to hammer this Allen wrench into this thing and somehow I got it out. Look at that. The Loctite is clear and we made it, man. I don't know how the heck I did this, but man, I got super lucky. I got super lucky, man. I'm so happy this came out without ruining the frame. Guys, you aren't gonna believe this. After all this work getting these bolts out, these lowering brackets do not work for the Talaria. So, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So they advertised that they're for sur-ron Segway Talaria. They don't even line up. And then this whole piece of material right here is in the way of mounting on the actual peg. So the holes line up on this, but all of this aluminum behind here hits the bracket. That would all have to get taken out. And not only that, they don't even line up on the frame. The bolts do not even line up. You gotta be kidding me. So I ordered these because they were cheaper than the Talaria ones. I think they were like 40 bucks and the Talaria ones were like maybe 80 or 100. So this is what I get for buying stuff on eBay. All right, so that was a complete waste of time, but at least I have new bolts. So the lowering brackets came with a new set of bolts, and these lowering brackets are wrong. They do not fit Talarias. They say Segway sur-ron Talaria on eBay, but they do not fit. But either way, I got the bolts out. I have new bolts in place, and I put a little PB blaster in there so they're not locked in for good, and I can always change it out when I get the proper lowering brackets. So at least I got new bolts. I got everything taken care of. Let's bolt this thing back together so we can at least ride it until we order the correct part. eBay, you suck. All right, the bike's all back together. We solved one problem and now we have another. But anyway, next time I get the proper brackets, this will be easy, like we said. Nice new bolts installed, and they are 1 Allen size bigger. So they can take more torque without stripping out the head. So that's a positive in my book. So I don't know how, but this girl has already wore through her new brake pads. So they were just like, I don't know, $10 or $12 China brake pads that I got on eBay. But I swear it's only been, what, 2 or 3 months? And those pads are gone. There's nothing left. I can't believe that. My bike is like a year older than hers and I still haven't done my brakes. Look at that, there's no pad left. The pads are gone. That is insane. So obviously she drives ridiculously fast, like full speed into every corner, and then just slams on her brakes on the corners. She's nuts. And I'm serious, because sometimes she actually like screeches her tires. She brakes so hard into corners. But anyway, I got these nicer brake pads. They're also on eBay, but they were like 3 times the price. They're like $25 a set, and they're these gold brake pads, part number X003UFJT0F. They're called Ink Sky BR09. They say they're for sur-ron. Hopefully they fit. It says sur-ron Light B Segway Shimano, but I'm pretty sure the ad did say Talaria. So let's try to pop these on, see if we can get our brakes working again. That is unbelievable. I've never ever seen a set of brake pads where there's 0 pad left. She is literally breaking metal on metal. We got the new pads installed and we shined up the caliper and cleaned things up. Now let's get it back installed on the bike and work on the front. Those pads are smoked. Those ones are nice. The fronts are also smoked, but there is a tiny bit of pad left on the fronts because she does use her back brakes a little more than she's supposed to. But if you look at the wear on this one, it was kind of rubbing weird. And looking at the caliber, it looks like the caliber was rubbing against the disc rotor here. So she rode them down so hard that it was actually hitting the edge of the caliper instead of whatever was left on the brake pad. But we got the new ones in on the front as well. Let me clean up this caliper and get it put back in. Success, front and rear both done. Got our fancy new gold Ink Sky brake pads. Let's hope they're better than these $10 China ones. Let's give the old MX3 a test drive. This feels weird. I just bought a KLX 300 and getting on one of these after that is, I feel like I'm on a little midget bike. Oh man, it looks like it's gonna rain out today. Oh yeah, those brakes work good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's much better. All right guys, thanks for watching. Today was MX3 Ink Sky brake pad change. I bought some really cheap no-name China brake pads and I just put them on like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. It was not that long ago if you check back in the video. And they were completely worn away down to the metal. Now we got these fancy gold looking ones. And now all we gotta do is go ride. Just to get an update on mileage. She is at 1,422 miles. I think I'm still like around 1,100, so she just rides more than me now. I just, you know, I've put 500 miles on my KLX 300 since I got it, so I do ride, just I'm not always riding my MX4. But thanks guys, have a good one, see you in the next vid.